Hiya. All right.
Hiya.
All right. I'm just going to give it a little couple of minutes. There's maybe some more people coming on. We've got 50 registered for this. Sorry, but I'll give you minutes. Here comes on.
Don't
Okay.
worry. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I hope everyone's in just now. Just to say, I've got a few more might join us. They are joining just as we start here. But as I said, just wanted to quickly go over this system. Just a little update. I was hoping that Adam would be able to join me from the implementation team, but he just contacted me this morning saying he can't make it. But I'll be here to give you some updates of stuff as well. So, as I said, the plan is to give a little update here. I know we've probably got a mixture of people who are maybe using the system, the new system at the moment, or people who are looking at it. So, as I said, this will be sort of going over both sides of the system. So, if intention is if I can just mute you just now, I'll run through the system and then obviously I'll be open for some Q&As afterwards, or just jump in during it if you wish to ask me anything. Okay. So I can just quickly check. Everyone okay to see my screen that I've got up just now? Yeah, hopefully. Okay. So a little bit of background on the cloud system, just for maybe heard this before or not, but as you know, club systems have had a cloud system now for 20 odd years. Not a cloud system, a till system for about 20 odd years. And it's an old till system that we developed about 20 years ago that runs on a MySQL database system. We have looked at a cloud-based system in the past, and we looked at it, just to be honest, pre-COVID, where we were starting developing ourselves. Put a little bit of hold with COVID. Obviously, not blaming COVID for that, but then when we came back, we then started looking at it again. But by that time, we'd obviously been purchased by Clear Course and was part of the group. That includes Intelligent Golf, in the same system as them. So rather than actually starting a cloud-based system from scratch, what we decided would be the quicker development path to go down would be to basically take their system that they'd been using for about 5 or 6 years and bring it into a system. And so basically we're not linked to the system as our own system and our own software, but we've just basically brought their software and system. So just a quick through. I don't want to go through too much about the hardware side of it. Obviously, for the new cloud-based system, you do tend to have the new till system. You have to have new tills. The tills have to be in Windows 10, and they basically have to be within a certain criteria of hardware to work on the system. And clubs just can contact me about that, and we can discuss that if need be. But I don't want to go too much on this, but just to say, basically, we've obviously brought in new hardware. You've seen some of the clubs already. We've got some new hardware that we put into clubs. It's some clubs have old units that don't even support USB ports. We need to update. So if you've got 10, say probably if your till's about 10 years old, you probably have to look at upgrading that to put a cloud-based system in. But mainly, this is a quick point of today is just to give a quick run through over how the system operates, and also take some Q&A on the system, those that have it before, those that have questions on it. So basically, this is where the next step is going to be for us to change the till system. And basically, if I click, this is how the new till looks basically on your system through. This has normally got your club logo up here, etc. But this is how the till screen looks at. Now, if I just quickly go over this till system, obviously we've got the login. Now, you can still log in with the old-fashioned way we have with the fobs on the side of the tills, etc. But a lot of clubs have said if issues with fobs falling off, staff taking them home, or whatever. So a lot of clubs now ask to put in. So we now have what you call a soft login, where people just log in with their names. Your operators would be all keyed into the system, and they log in with their own name. Tend to encourage clubs to make sure they're quite strict on this. People should be using their own name for traceability and through. But basically, if I log into the system, that's the till system. That's how your till would now the new till system looks. Not massively changes on the screen slightly, but what I'd say is probably the products down here rather along the top, a little bit changed. But as I said, and also we have been asked for clubs, maybe seem a small thing, but I know that the clubs have it now, love this, being able to customize colors, etc. for things they've got. Okay. Part of that soft login thing as well, just if I log it again there and log in, we can also use this for a timekeeping package we can put into till system. So you can actually have a timekeeping system where people would log in at the start of their shift and log off. Again, reliant on your staff using it and doing it, but it's a handy thing to do. Basically, though, I'll just go over the till system. So basically, you've got the colors of the till system there. You've got different options of there. And basically, if I look at the products here, you'll see basically the products, pint, half pint, shandy, whatever, oil products here. But what I'll say most clubs tend to like is I can click these if I like, but clubs quite like the option click and say, is it a pint, half pint, shandy, whatever. Okay. Where that works really good with is wine. If I go to wine, basically, I've got all my wine glasses here, but what you tend to find is most clubs would rather have is have your bottles of wine, whatever you've got, Rioja, whatever, click on that and have is it a bottle, okay, or is it a, okay. And also if you want me, like me, quantity, I want 6 bottles of wine. So as I said, the system a lot quicker to use. This little bit at the top so it goes through, okay. So as I said, that's simple through it. Now also the food option works the same as the option did before in the current system. You have your food, breakfast, want a raw egg, want it fried, want it black pudding, I want it extra bacon. All not rocket science, a lot of things we've had before. And as before, all this food item can be programmed to go to a kitchen printer. Again, when I roll back to mention the hardware, the kitchen printer has to be on an IP, has to be a network kitchen printer, which is basically a newer kitchen printer. I would say anything probably, if you've replaced your kitchen printer in the last 5 years, you'll probably be fine. But I would say I've got some clubs with kitchen printers that are 14, 15 year old. Prior to network flight, they would not be usable. You'd have to look at upgrading it. So basically, as your staff operate, they have a couple of options as they pay. They can pay as usual by member card, search by card. Now they can swipe the card as normal or put in by name, up to you if you wish to, wish to search or search by name or number, okay. I've not got a card swipe on mine through, okay. Nothing more rocket science than that. You go pay by card, okay, goes through. But a little upgrade with the member side here is you say basically I don't have enough funds. And we've listened to what clubs saying, rather than coming out of the system and having to go back and do a top up, I just simply do a top up. John wants to put £200 on his to pay his bill. Yeah, can add it. If I do it by cash, card, whatever. If I do it by card, just a little point on that. If you have a clear accept card terminal from us, that can be indicated to till that amount goes straight up on the tab. on the machine rather than you having to type it in on the card machine. But also while I'm in here as well, you'll see basically that I've got a minimum top up at £279. I don't have enough at £200. I need to top up 300. Okay. So cancel that. Yeah, I'll just amount cash. Okay. What I can then do is just close that, goes back, and you see I can now process the payment. There's no issue there. I can process the payment. Okay, never go submit payment, submit payment. Yeah, that's sales through, no more rockets. So that's not massively different to what you guys have used anyway. It's a till system just now. Okay, go pay. Yeah. Sorry. And if I want, sorry, I can put it just by cash as well. If it's a cash payment, you'll see we put the £6 in automatically as well. If your staff want, and we've got the same change facilities as well. And if I mention paying by credit debit card, it goes the same through. So as I said, not massively changing how we could work it just now, but just to say it was work a lot better through, as I said, or I can put member through. Okay, go pay. As I said, just through. Okay, again, simple to do. Okay, so that's not massively changes in what we've done, but a little bit of a change probably in that is more the card machine links we have there as well. One other thing though as well in that little part there is I can click and let's do a top up. And let's do a top up of 200. That's probably too much. £200 by cash. While we're talking about top ups, one thing you can do in the system as well is if I close that down, say I've done that top up wrong, I can click to this, and this is like the management section, basically, and I can do an account correction and simply say, right, who it was, and it'll probably show you the last person I used. Say, John, that shouldn't be £200, that should be 20. Just simply click on that and say that should only be 20. Okay, and submit the correction. That's that sorted, that's their card account updated, that's back to through. So I can do that nice and easier in the system. I do. Again, you can decide if you wish to allow people to be able to do that or not, because you control their access, but just to say that's there. So as I said, back to till. Not massively, I keep saying not massive changes, but clubs do like this now, but where we probably have done the biggest thing on it, let's say I'll put some stuff on here. Okay, okay. I'll put some wine, I'll put my wine on. Okay. All right. Probably what clubs have asked is one of the biggest weaknesses on their old system was splitting the bills on the old system. Basically, a little bit of background on that. Our old till system, obviously showing its age, was based on those days, which maybe some of us remember, where members used to pay for everything at the club. So it was always charged a member's card. There was never this much splitting bills. And I know some clubs are still actually like that and still operate where members have to pay for everything. But obviously, changing times and changing things through, people tend to split bill or pay for their own things. So basically, there's a couple of options of splitting the bill, which we have took improvements in. First of all, click here, I can actually share the bill. So I want to share the bill, basically split the bill, but I'm there with my wife. I want to pay for 2 covers. You want to pay for 1. Simply, nice and simple split as we've got just now. But probably the more advanced split option we have here is I'm leaving early. I can click on that and I can split the bill, and I can click I want to pay for my bottle of wine. So I want to pay my wine, pay it, and you can either pay it by member's card, charge it to my card. Okay, and you'll see here it says little thing on that as well. It says here that I've got outstanding tabs, so it's telling me that I'm trying to split it, but it says I still owe money on a tab that's not been cleared. So what your staff could do is go back and look at the tabs. Okay, and you'll see I have got a tab here sitting. So as I said, it's pointing these things out to me. I've got multiple tabs here outstanding. So I could actually try and open these and clear these as well first. So it does let it through. And again, rather than go through too much on tabs, it's just showing you that you do have tabs sitting there. You can use tabs as before. But as I said, you can just play that through. It said I've got my tab here, through. So it's up to you, as I said, you wish to play that. Okay. Just pay that, just submit pay it. So as I said, I don't have to go through it, but what I can then do is go back to sale, and then the next person I can split the next part. So if somebody else is leaving, they can go through. Now where this probably helps a lot is those clubs maybe where, especially those of you that do food, is that you might have someone comes and orders 4 soups, and they want to pay them all individually at the end of it. Obviously, to get that through the current system, you have to put it, through as 4 separate tabs or 4 separate sales. Now you can just put it through as 1 sale. And it also does mean that when you're on the tab side as well, you can keep adding to tab, even though somebody leaves. So I could call that tab up, open it up, and keep us adding stuff to it. And then, as I said, just anybody wants to leave the table, go through. Okay. And that's where also comes a little bit with tables. And I don't like to spend time on tables, but in tables, you can program obviously your tables. And a wee handy thing we've got in the tables here is basically you can assign to, you've got tabs and tables, but say a table, I've got my patio table here that I'm sitting outside, but the rain comes on, they want to move, I can move from that patio table to the restaurant table and move it. When they move into the restaurant, it's all done. So you can move tables as well. And if I want, I can pay that, or I can open it. I can open it up, just revert to a tab. So if I don't like to pay it, I can either open it, process payment, or I could put it on a tab if I wish to tabs. Just that stuff there through. Gets table set through. Okay. A little bit in the till as well, just a little bit of operation of the till is obviously the back office side here. This here is basically back office, the old back office side of our till. And there's just some things in here we've added in to the back office. Okay, so first thing obviously is the sales reports. And this is where you normally take your X and Z readings that you normally do as normal and go through. Okay, and I'll show you where you just get your Z readings, you can print or whatever. Okay, and you can do them as you like, go through. Okay, confirm. Okay, and I'll show you a little update on them as well we've done, and you can print these off if you wish and get your log at the end of the night. And this gives you sort of your caching up at the end of the night on your stuff through. Okay. What you can also print off in here as well is a lot of clubs now are turning off printing off receipts. Now, on the current system, if you don't print off a receipt, you can only print off receipt for the last transaction that has been put through the till. But again, because we've now advanced through, what I can now do in the back office is I can actually see all the transactions on the till. And if I load back more, I can keep going back further if I like. If, for example, I come back and say I forgot to get that receipt on the 27th of May, I could come in there and you could reprint it off. So now, no reason why clubs, I would say, should be printing off their, turning off, probably printing off receipts, especially visitors tend to throw it in the bin. And those members with the app can see the balance in the app. So it save probably massively costs of going through the amount of receipt rolls clubs go through. I can print back off. So if anyone comes up later and says, I forgot to get a receipt, I can reprint it anytime. Okay, so I've got through. So just add these things in there as well. Yeah. Another thing, back office as well. I don't know if many of you knew, but in our current system, we did have a training mode in our current system. Yep.
John.
Yep.
Sorry for butting in.
Yep.
See on the Z and X report,
yep.
the previous, or the old till system, when you printed an X, it would show you all the kind of takings, because one of the things that the catering quite like to do here is how much have I taken today, how much have I taken so far. The new Z or the new X report doesn't show you that.
It's getting fixed on that. I've got a little update on that. Just give you an update on that. Just go through this. I'll explain where we are with some of that stuff on that.
Perfect.
Okay, because it's just to do with tags and things. Okay. So yeah. So they've got, yeah. So these sales reports we've got, yeah, these I get through, and I'll just go through the reports. Okay. Obviously, the old till system as well did have the training. I don't know if you knew had a training mode. The way the training mode worked in the old system is you had to download, basically restart the till, and it loaded up a copy of the data to play on. Basically, then you read through. But what happens at some clubs is they left it off training mode. But what you've got here, basically, if I've got somebody who want to play in the till, they can enable training mode. They can put that stuff on there. That's that till in training mode. So your staff can run about and play with it. Nothing goes. They can do a training mode on it. If I click back, basically that's disabled training mode. I'm back to live till. So basically that's the operation of the till. That's, I wouldn't say no massive changes. I keep saying no massive changes, but I know they're quick changes that make things through. One wee thing, fun enough, I forgot just to show you there, this little handy thing that was added in is a quick sale. If you're taking a big order, and what happens at clubs is, clubs used to swap fobs or something, but someone's waiting to decide what they want, especially doing food, but someone's standing behind them. I can just quick sale, do a quick sale and just take their pint, put it through, just pay that, get it done, and then go back to where I was. Okay, so just to let you know, it's a handy wee tip through. But probably the biggest thing we've obviously changed a lot of things on is the operation of till there is not massively changing. But if I go back to my Club V1, now this is where we're doing the upgrade in Club V1. Okay, and what we've done with Club V1 basically is we've now integrated the EPOS system into Club V1. Those who have the current system will click on Finance, have the stuff up here about EPOS, but now we've got the EPAS linked into Club V1. Okay, if I click on Club V1, this is where we're going to Club V1, and this is basically the report side of Club V1. And this is where we're a little update on some of the discussions you mentioned about X and Z readings and reports there as well. Basically in here is where I've got my reports, okay, and I've got reports on this month, this quarter. I can update reports. So this is basically reports on here. What has come up with a lot of clubs is obviously the change in the system, and I'll show you how it kicks in products, is we use a lot in the new system, a thing called tags, product by tags, which splits a lot of the way you report. In the old system, we use a lot of called revenue streams, and that's going back to your X and Z readings, where a lot of the revenue streams like catering, things like that, where when you mentioned there about the X and Z readings not showing this, this is where we're going to be changing up the upgrades coming in at the end of June, first week in July on these updates, because we've changed slightly from revenue streams to these tags on the way that stuff is analysed and reported on. And this is where part of the not the confusion, but part of the update has to come a bit on the reporting side for clubs, is that I don't think the reporting side is good, terrible to say it as the old system. I think the old system is more concise. So we are actually taking up on it because of the way that we have went with tags. I'm going to explain when I go to products where tags have we went to this tag system slightly, as I'll explain how it works. But in this, basically in the report summary here, you've got your normal sales reports, okay, which shows your stuff through each day. You can do detailed stuff through. Okay, I've got it through. As I said, you can see a transaction report. There is an update coming on the transaction report as well, because we need it a bit more clearer for clubs, more linking to the old way system clubs like it come through. It's not 100% clear what club want it. We have added in the product sales. So you've got sort of product sales stuff. Do you know what I mean? Your operator sales if you want through. Okay. And these, one thing I mentioned, this is where it comes in a little bit of improvements. We're going to come in on it, as I said. And as I said, I was hoping Adam was on because he did more about this than I will, but we will get, I will be getting, he's going to send me over some screenshots of, I'm hoping, of the new report layout. Because obviously one thing you can do, you get X and Z readings off the till, but also one thing we have added in is that you can get X and Z readings within Club V1. So if you have lost a Z reading for a certain day, you can come in here and you can reprint it off, okay, and get it from there. Okay, and this is where we need these improved a little bit for clubs to get through, but that's where we're doing reports on that. Okay, on the tags as well, just the tags. Where tags come in slightly as well, and this is, as I said, update on that. What's getting into reporting is filtering by tags. Is tags are maybe replacing a lot of what are old revenue streams. And if I go back to the system through and then look at the problem is you've got your standard reports. But where I go into the settings here, this is where we have the products. Okay, and as you go through it, this is where in the products basically you add a new product. Now, no longer do we have the back office system where the old grey back office boxes come through. Basically, and you no longer have to be in a clubhouse to do these. You can do these from here. Okay, so you can do them from home, you can do them from anywhere, or you can do it anywhere. So you no longer need this. If you wish to get someone to be able to do something on a different computer, you no longer need us to basically install back office on that computer you wish to do stuff on it. Okay, and if I look at the products here, okay, add a product, I can just add a new product. Simple. Where I'm going to put it, nothing simple, what it's called. Okay, now when I add a product, I've got whatever I'm going to call it. Okay, I call it John Cardinal, whatever we call it. Okay, and let's just say, or I can if I want, to be honest. Let's just look. Handy thing as well, if I want, on our system, obviously, you know, the old system, you cannot search by a product name. On the new system, you can. So this, hopefully, I would say, should help clubs stop having rolls and bacon in 6 or 7 times in the same system. We should be tidying things through. But if I just go and copy. But when you copy a product, you'll get the system product through. And a couple of things we've added in and changed on the product we have here is obviously selling price, whatever through. The levy slightly added in now, the option of the levy. Now this option allow levy is to be levy and forfeits, and I'll give you a wee update on that as well in a minute. Basically, one of the things that used to be problematic with some clubs in the past was they might have a product that they don't want members to basically go against their forfeit or the levy. So my practical example I've got of that is, I think, like basically for the Open, they had a bottle of whiskey that the members could buy, but that wasn't to be set against the levy that they had to spend in the bar. So if you have a certain product that you wish to put available to members, like a £60 bottle of whiskey, whatever, but you don't want them to be able to set that against their average, the yearly spend you've sent for the levy, you can untick it so it doesn't go in the levy. And as I said, we couldn't do that in the old system, but clubs had asked us to put that in, so that's why we put that in through. Okay, as I said, obviously add your products in. One wee thing when you add your products in as well, the big thing probably is the layout of the till. When you add your product discount through, but if you go to the layout of your till, this is the tills, and you can set the layouts for each till you have got what you set up through. But if you go to edit the till, you see that's my till. So if I go back to my till, that's my till. That's my products. So basically program a till, look at that till. If I don't want that pint down there, I want it down there. Okay, updates there. Okay, so just now move through. One big thing with layouts as well is I can pre-prep products. So say I'm creating my Christmas food and I've started creating all my Christmas food. I can create that in the background. You'll see here, I don't have a Christmas food option just now, but when I want to make it available, I can just switch it on. There's my Christmas food available. So as I say, I can prep a lot of stuff. Just clubs have asked us for things to do on this. Go back to till through. Okay. So that's till layout. But one thing I want you to do is go back to products. Sorry, products, yeah. I've got the time. Back to where I was, my boss. Back to my products. And that is where, if I look at my Peroni again, sorry, let me look at actually what I've got, sorry. And this is where to explain where we are actually doing a lot of upgrade with tags. What club has asked us for basically is they might have a cavalry. Now you might want that as part of your food revenue. When you're pulling off a report, you want that as a basic report on your food income. Drink will be your bar income, whatever. Now, those of you that have used the till system in the past, they're all set as revenue streams. But what some clubs will do is you can actually have two tags. Now, what these tags, assigning two tags to allow me to do, and this is where I wish I could have shown you today because I thought it was going through, but it's coming a couple of weeks away. That when I pull a report, I will get my catering, which will show my catering. But if I wish, I can also just say, yes, that's part of my food revenue, but I also want to analyse much of was sold in my cavalry on Sunday. So it'll go into your general through, and I can actually add as many tags as I like. So I mean, I can put, if I got bar, you can add more tags if you want. Sorry, but so I could put as many tags if I like. So there's bar income. So if I put bar income, this product would actually be reportable on cavalry sales, catering, bar income. And as I said, there is going to be a demo on the new filtering on this at the start of July, just to show you how you can basically analyze these tags a lot more. But just to explain, that's why, unfortunately, I would admit we have been a bit behind the scene with the reports on that, is because we're trying to put more information in there that you can put stuff on there and changes on that. So as I said, that's where, so if I go back to my dashboard and look at my business reports, okay, as I said, last this month update, you see I've got my reports, and if I expand my tags, you'll see I've got different things, cavalry sales, my catering sales, and what is getting added in, and I'm sorry I can't show it because I thought, as I said, I thought Adam might have it, but I would have it through, is that tag. I'll download that report, will show me my cavalry sales and catering, but those two items here, just to let you know, they're basically technically duplicating it up. So what's going to be added in here is option to filter these so that basically it won't show them. So obviously I just want to see my catering sales. I don't want to see catering and cavalry. It shouldn't be adding up these as a total, and that's where the reports have been wrong with clubs using the tags. So basically what's something in adding into reports is you'll have the option when you report to filter by tag and basically take this stuff out. So that's what's getting added into it. My function. Okay. So one other thing with products as well, go back to products here as well, just say one product to say, just to let you know as well. One thing with products is the addition of the price changes. Price changes, as you know, in the old system, if you wish to change the prices, you have to basically come in the morning of the price change and apply all those changes. Just to let you know, we've added in now, you can actually pre-prep and have a price event changed. So basically, if you decide, for example, that as of the 1st of July, I'm going to put all my prices up, I can create a price event, just call it July. Simple. Okay. And basically I can put that in. Okay. And what I can do basically, I can enable manually, so that price will change on that date. Or if I want, I can enable automatically and say, actually from a certain date, that'll kick in and those price changes in. So I can pre-prep, put all the prices in, and then just get that to go through, as I said. And I can, if I've got different tills, set each till, but obviously most clubs will just do it to all the tills. But just to let you know, I can pre-prep that. It's quite a big, handy thing that through. So as I said, that's a quick overview of the system. Anybody wants a unique, a full demo of it, just let me know, because there's just a sort of cover of everything here. But in main things, just get the cover of those who have the system and something to do. But if I come out of that system and just go back a little bit, just where we are with this system through. So obviously the other point of today was to give you a little bit of update where we are with those of you that currently have the system, where the changes are coming in and what updates. Probably a big thing if I just click on this is that obviously it is completely new software. It does remove the back office system. You can split the bills and basically you will remove your back office. Sorry, and you can access them anywhere, and we do have stock control. I'm saying most clubs we've removed the stock control system. Again, it's IG stock control system we bought through. Probably one of the things we have, just like those coming in, is clawbacks. Now, this is basically your forfeits. So use clubs that run forfeit routines in the system. Basically, we can do forfeits just now. The only issue we've got with forfeits just now, to be honest, is Adam and implementation team have to help the clubs do that. Mainly it's because you're obviously going to have some legacy spend in your old system and some spend in your new system. So basically, the clubs that have done changed mid-season or changed whatever through have forfeits. Will basically Adam and his team just basically help those clubs run that for it. But listening to clubs and making it easier off club, we'll be adding in basically they'll be getting this you'll be getting the screen added in, and basically you'll have a utility where you can actually run your forfeit. Again, don't get me wrong, me personally, I'd probably say still want to get Adam and his team to maybe help you with the first time you run this. But just to say, it's going to allow you to run the forfeit thing. And basically what you're going to see here is it shows your legacy business, and basically it's picking up the spend in the old system, the spend in the new system, and the forfeit that's going to be taken off people. So like you had before, a bit more clearer what you've got, mind you. You'll be able to apply. And this is, I say slight, maybe those of you guys that have got the till system, I admit that's probably a little bit of a change, is obviously because we have brought a system in from Intelligent Golf rather than starting from a full system from scratch. But unfortunately, we're having to live a little bit with some of their terminology that we don't have. So they call their forfeits clawbacks. We call them forfeits. We'll go through, which they say through. I mean, now that's coming in, I think it's going to be the first week in July, second week in July. Get it through. The other issues coming in as well is basically there's a lot of back office, some additional back office transactions report. Now, I'll come out of Q&A after this and I'll take some things on from clubs to check what we're getting from there. But annoying thing is on the new system is that it seems to take 3 reports to get the 1 report that I used to get in Club V1, especially your Club V1 sales report. And rolling back to your X and Z readings, which are nice and simple for staff, they seem an awful lot nightmare to get those reports off. And that's, I take that on board. That's feedback we've had from clubs about that reports. So basically, we've taken on board and we're putting that through. What we consciously did was not bring all the reports in from the old back office system in Club V1. There is thousands of, well, not a lot of reports in there that we don't think merited getting brought into the system. And like we did with Club V1 reporting, is we didn't bring everything in from Club 2000. We just brought in reports that we thought was needed and would be beneficial to clubs. And hopefully, now we've got, I think I've got about 60 odd clubs on the till system now, clubs reporting back to us and complaining about some of the reports they need. We are looking to put this through. Other thing as well, just like it's coming in, is multi-purse top up and spend. Again, unfortunately, bringing in a hereditary system from another company. Intelligent Golf don't use multi-purse, so they didn't think it was something to bring across. we have emphasised the need for that, and so we will be bringing in multi-purse top up and spend. So you will then be able to multi-purse top up at the bar, or if you wish. Not as I'm not going to fob it off as not being as important for clubs, but more and more clubs, obviously members do top up their additional purses through the app rather than at the bar. It used to cause a lot of issues at the bar, multi-purse top up, where people put it in their own purse, but obviously clubs do need it. It's something we have to put in. This receipt and kitchen printer, this is back to I'm saying about the receipt and the kitchen printers. This is linked to the X and Z. This is more to do with the till printouts from the receipt printer. That back to your X and Z readings getting improved to come out through, and also the kitchen printout layouts. These are more just taking layout changes as clubs have asked and go through. And obviously this little part at the bottom, this is where I mentioned about the tags and the reporting, etc. by tags, that clubs need the option to basically filter all the information they've got in there a little bit more better than it is doing at present. So as I said, my feeling on the system is that that is the weakest side of the new system, has been the reporting side. And we found, as I said, issues with it. Now moved it through, but hopefully now we have, as I said, I've got about 63 clubs, I think, on the cloud system now, feeding back to the people on that, as I said. And as I said, the intention is that, as I said, I've been told the end of June these reports are coming in, but that will not be the end of the report development that's getting done. I've spoke to conduct development as well. Obviously, one thing, we will not be doing any development on the old system, so that's why I'm not through. These are going to be reports through. So it's not an ideal answer for you guys because I don't have the full details of that, but that's what's coming through. Okay. So just quickly, just sort of go over this sort of final thing here, and I'll take some Q&As for you guys. Is that obviously those of you that haven't got the till system, basically it's £1,000 to go to the cloud system. There's some additional costs, support fees as well. Obviously, we are now hosting and holding your data off-site. I can customize all these ideal prices for you if you want. Some of you have got the handheld tills. You've probably seen that you've got in SIS. We do have handheld tills. Some clubs are using these in pro shops as additional tills. All I would say is maybe just keep in mind that if you want a pro shop, it doesn't come with a printer, so you might need a printer or a cash drawer pro shop. Okay. I did mention we have a new stock roll system. I'll go over that another. If you want another session, we can go over that separately. Okay. We are putting these in now just to emphasise that your tills have to be Windows 10 for these. Okay, so through it. Okay. In contact. So as I say, that's just a quick catch up on the till system. And part of my thing today was obviously try and catch up with anybody who's maybe got some questions. I know, unfortunately, I've not went through a lot of update on the reports. Just to let you know, what we are doing is when the update on the report side comes out, you will be an invite to basically a webinar solely on that, just solely on those reporting side for those clubs that are using the system currently. So these are the guys that don't have it. Keep an eye out for that coming. It'll be basically, I won't be doing it. It'll be the implementation team who have obviously dealt with you guys and have got the till system and got the changes that will be coming on to do that with you and go over the changes they're putting in, and they will know exactly what they've got through. Okay. So anyone got any specific queries I can maybe help as well on it system?
John, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
John, I totally agree. You know, that I think it's been we've got the full system when we went to Clear Accept on the card machines as well. I think that's a game changer for us on card transactions. That's so much easier for cashing up. The iGolf report, I just can't find any for that, John. So that's good. You know, when I'm putting money into back office, you know, from card winnings or competition winnings, I just can't seem to get a decent report on that at all. So that's good that you're taking that into account, because, you know, that's a big report for us on our card balances.
One wee thing on that, Raymond, as well, and anybody else, what I would say is I'm obviously pushing for, we don't know what these reports are going to be like. We're not saying we don't have reports. The current system just now, the reports are there. What I would say is, ideally, if you can drop me a little wee summary as well, just a couple of lines of what you're looking for specific as well. Not saying it's not coming, just so that I know exactly what clubs are looking for as well.
Yeah, because on the tag, like, I love the tag reports, You know, that's maybe because I'm used to working with SharePoint and the same sort of thing, but it's a pain when you have to expand it and then print it. You know, that for me should be a report that opens a report up. So when I tag my events like ticket sales, you know, I've got to then open that up to print it, and so it is 3 or 4 reports to get a decent week's take-ins, and that's frustrating. So it's iGolf, the tags, I think, you know, is a game changer for us as well. No cash at all in the club, everything goes through the till. One thing, John, was, see, tips. So I was in a restaurant on Saturday and the card machine came over to me and there was an option to put 10, 15 or 20% on. Now, obviously, people didn't carry cash anymore. So can you do that on the till system?
Yeah, on the till system, just I've got mine set up for it. I've not got mine. Basically, what you call it? Service charge. Basically, on the system, there's the option to add in a service charge.
Right.
So what you'll find is, I don't know if I've got mine set up for it. I should have it set up. Sorry, but I can get details on that because that is there just now on it. Basically, so basically, more and more clubs ask about tips and things through, and obviously tips are tax recordable and things through. But and obviously when you have members paying by card and you get rid of cash, tips drop off. The big thing that's going to come in I think this year, and you get it more down south, and I'm going to Jersey in a week's time, and in Jersey, every restaurant in Jersey, it's a service charge, 10% service charge, which you have to take off. And as you said, you'll notice yourself through. The system is, I'll get mine enabled and I can just send you details what it is on that. But yeah, the system, you can put on a service charge and it's going to be like, staff will just add that at the end. It'll go into the card machine, it'll go into whatever, and it's then up to you then if the member or whoever decides that they wish to remove that service charge. So that is that facility is there just now.
Yeah, and does that appear in a separate report, John, about how much tips are going through? Because obviously that affects the cash and up because the cash.
Yeah, it'll be basically.
Get that.
Yeah, it'll come out. Basically, it comes up as a revenue stream, as a service charge, technically. So it's a service charge, and as I said, it's then going to be up to you how you, not saying reporting on that, how you're splitting and all that. Obviously, that's up to clubs how they do that. You know, if they're giving it to the staff or they're doing whatever on it, how you split on that. I mean, some clubs probably I haven't in the new system that had the old system. I used to have some clubs that used to actually have a button here and it was actually every member of staff for a tip, and they would just put tip through the sale and then pull a report on that product sales. That's where we did it for some clubs in the past, but it gets a bit messy that. And same way, you can have a tips. You could have a tips, but I could have my miscellaneous bar could be tips and put tips on that and report on tips. But I think. So that's the only thing as a club would have to think about is, are you going to have a miscellaneous tips button where folk can put anything they wish to give as a tip, or do you want to put on a service charge that people ask to get removed? I don't know. I think that's going to be how clubs operate, but I would say going forward, the service charge is going to be, I think more and more you're going to find now in clubs and also in restaurants, you're going to get a service charge on there. It's up to you to ask to remove it. But as I said, I'll get just drop my little email, Raymond, and I'll get you details exactly how that service charge works and how it shows in mine.
Okay.
And you put 50%, put your high 20% service charge on it. But as I said, I know that, as I said, it's going to be. I think it's going to become more common. And if that's not a solution for you, yeah, you can put tips on it. But as I said, all I would say is, just before I move off the subject, is if you're going to put tips and put a tips button on or tips through, have a little bit of think of your tax implications of that, giving the staff the tips. Some clubs will just get the staff to basically say, you give the money the tips, but the staff have to sign a thing saying they accept the tax implications of that. That's up to them to declare those tips or not. I mean,
yeah. I think the best thing that you showed us as well, John, was the notes on the tags. That again, that's an amazing thing. That the notes on the tags, because that tells you exactly what's going through.
Yep. Okay. Anyone else? As I said, it's more. Between me and you, I was hoping Adam was coming on today because he did a lot more, and he's been doing with a lot. Obviously, those clubs of you that have come across. to the system or using the system. I was hoping to have Nathan and Adam on. As I said, it was only about an hour ago. I got told by Adam couldn't make it. So I was hoping he would come on it. So what I will be doing is pushing him on it. As I said, I have said to him then that basically when he has all the information of the upgrades and goes through it, and they are actually going live rather than just relying on you guys getting a notification of the updates, what we've said is we're going to schedule just a basically online session like this to just go over those updates and just show them actually how they're operating, rather than, because you'll see that you'll see a lot of people get stuff through on the system. We get a lot of notifications through, but it's very easy to miss those things. So that's why we're going to put those on. Okay. Somebody just threw some questions. It's just saying a question to add the bar levy as a way to say £100 to members card. Yep. So basically, when you run the forfeits on the system, you'll see, if I go back to where I've got that little update from Adam on this system, go back to forfeits. Right back. Again, screen is small. You see there's normally a start and an end date on that. Okay, as I said, different ways you can do that. Suspend and the levy date, so you can do that through. As I said, my feeling I'd be 100% telling clubs the first time you're doing your clawback on the new system, our guys are more than happy there to help you do it. And it's not because it's rocket science or through. I've still helped some clubs do their yearly levy, even though they've been using the system for the last 11, 12 years. I still help them do it. So it's worth getting our guys to help with it. And it's mainly just because you're going to have historical stuff and old stuff. As I said, we've always been able to do it. So let's go through. Okay. As I said, anyone who's got any specific questions or want me to specifically go through a certain aspect of it, just drop my email and I can even sort out an individual Teams call. I'm trying to do a sort of varied overview. We've been doing this the last few weeks on certain things, just we have our catch-ups on certain aspects of Club V1. So hopefully, as I said, we can do some more of these going forward. And again, if you do want any aspect specifically covered, just let me know as well and I'll get that sorted. Okay.
John, sorry,
okay?
just quick.
Yep, sir.
John, just quickly, sorry. See if you pull up the X report. So again, one of the things that the chef always sort of the catering keep asking every day is like, oh, what my sales at? What my sales at? What my sales at? And we normally would go into the X report previously, and it would tell you, right, today you've taken £500 the catering, but it doesn't do that anymore. So when you click on the X report,
it's just giving you the, see, I'm honest, I haven't a print here. What I'll do is
that's all it tells you. So it doesn't mention anything in there about any catering sales where the previous one did. So it's just it's a luxury at the end of the day. I don't know. Obviously, it's just I think the catering just like to know how they're doing daily.
You just you just run the report on the tag for catering.
You can, but for example, my bar manager obviously has access to the EPOS, but another member of staff wouldn't have that, and they don't have a laptop. So the old till system, you'd be able to get how much it was, but it doesn't tell you now without having to go into the EPOS. But if you've got a member of staff that doesn't have a laptop with them, they can't go in and check that. And I don't want to keep doing it myself, to go in daily and say, right, this is what we're...
Yeah, what I'll do, I've given one of my club, it's quite handy here. I'll nip in and I'll get a printout of it. I'll take a ZD on it so I can have a good look at it. Because I don't have a receipt printer here, do you know what I mean? On mine. So I can see exactly, because I've probably my best solution. Let me have a look at the old one and the new one. Yeah. Basically, I've got two clubs handy, sort of close to me that I can get a. Basically, I think the best thing for me is because, as I said, I do know this is getting sorted. What these printouts on these receipt thing that people are asking for off them. Let me get I can take one off the old system, one of the new system. Okay, and just send through. See what I'm getting on that.
Perfect.
Because as I said, yeah, I think we're allied to be honest. Again, it's just for experience. I think a lot of the guys who did the till system and the way in Chelsea Golf operate is they relied too much on these bigger companies that pulled a lot of stuff off from here and pulled it off in the back office stuff and tag reports and things, not realizing that the smaller club, not a smaller club, but even no, I'm not even going to say small clubs, big clubs use it as well. But a lot of our clubs tended to use the printouts off the X and Z readings off the till a lot more. I mean, and I've got clubs that have got boxes and boxes full of old X and Z reading reports printouts there. So I'll ask Adam for a copy of the new one and the old one just so I can check what we've got there.
Yeah, you'll see, as it says, it's very limited information you get on the new one. It doesn't tell you anything. It just tells you how much you took back, voucher, card, and that's it. It doesn't tell you how much you're...
Yeah, it's more, as I said, that's where it was more to split with a lot of the, not as much the tags, but things through on that, as I said, through. But yeah, I'll check where we are with that on those improvements. Because as I said, I just got updated for Adam saying there was improvements coming on, what's coming out of the receipt printer and what the printouts you can get from at the till. So I'll find exactly what I'm getting on them.
Perfect, thank you.
Drop my email as well, and what I'll do is I'll try and get a screenshot of both of them and fire it back to you.
Will do, excellent.
Yeah. Anyone else be all right, or no? As I said, as soon as I get these updates as well, I'll go through, as I said, coming through. Right, Gemma, did you want something, Gemma? Sorry. You want to ask something, Gemma? Sorry. No. Sorry, Gemma. I see a little hands up. I just wasn't. Okay. So as I said, I know it's just a sort of overview I'm giving here. As I said, I do understand part of the report. I'd say the weakest thing on the new system has been the report side. We are listening to that. We are arguing back on that system as well. Obviously, I did want to explain there was the forfeits are there. I think the improvement we've not that we could do forfeits. We could always do forfeits, but again, I think it's shown a little bit better. Clubs weren't understanding the old system and the new system, how you had to pull both together. So I think that's going to be a big improvement, and the multi-purse thing there as well. So, as I said, but any other, as I said, linking to. I mean, I speak to, as you know, I speak to a lot of clubs linking to the card machines. Clubs through wish or not, I think is a great option. You get it working well. It works great. It does stop a lot of top-ups. One of some of the things we've taken on board, clubs have asked us basically, if I look at till system, when you do a top-up, you'll see it keeps a member's name up there. Some people have said, well, can you clear that when you close? But it's mainly because when you do the top-up, it links through. So it's just some linking. It's linking some of this stuff to tabs and live systems as well. So as I said, hopefully, want to ask something, Kevin? Or?
Yeah, hi, John. So,
yeah, all right.
Do you know if the pay function is going to be part of your latest update?
What do you mean a pay function?
A payout, like a petty cash?
Oh, sorry, yeah. In the system here, you've got cashback. My system, is that to give is it to give cash back? Oh, sorry, that's not what you mean. You mean like a payout button?
Yeah.
Yeah. You pay. Don't know. It's a question. It's we did we have an old? We did have a payout in the old system. The only issue we had with the old system is we had a payout button, but we didn't have an option to put what it was for.
No, but you would you could ring through a sale, say if it was a team match that the club are paying for. You know, you could ring through that sale and then pay it out.
On cash, yeah, I'd say, yeah. Most of the times I come across a payout button is like to pay for the window cleaner or something.
Yeah.
That's where they use the payout button. And what some clubs will do is they'll do a miscellaneous bar sale or a miscellaneous sale, and they'll actually do technically a void of it and do it as a minus, so money comes out. Okay, and what I would then suggest to clubs is they put a text description in of what it's for.
Right, okay.
So you've got a miscellaneous bar sale. It was for the window cleaner, but it took £35 out the till.
Okay.
Okay, that's how you can do it. What I would say that way, you mentioned with team matches and all that, what I would say with that is I normally recommend clubs with that type of thing is rather than doing that, is club would normally assign a card to, there's two ways to do it, sorry. You can assign a card. So I've got a club that's maybe got a couple of different departments in it. They've got a gardening club, a walking club, a golf club, who all charge things for different matches and different events. What they've got is they've got a member's card which is allowed to go to overdrawn. doesn't give any discount, and all simply they then do is they charge that card. They ring up what they're charging, put it to that card. It means therefore in that card on the EPOS history for that card, you can see what it's been used for in detail, and you can track what that spend is. So not putting you off not having the cash back, but I'm saying that's a more accurate way to record that. If you've got any hospitality stuff that you charge, it's sometimes handy to have like a captain's card, a committee card, or whatever, or a team card, and anything that's charged, that profile can be allowed to overdraw, and the staff just swipe that. So basically, if I came and bought 4 pints of lager for a visiting team plus charged a team match to it, that would show exactly that I'd bought 4 pints of lager, 2 whiskies, whatever, and it being charged to that hospitality card for that detail. So it's maybe a better way, I would say, to look at doing that. And again, I can help you sort that out through. Make sense? Yep.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The other thing was, sorry.
Yep.
Will you be introducing the ability to change the text size on the kitchen printout?
That yes, sorry, you see that's one of the things I've been given there was there's a big an update coming, improving improve receipt and kitchen printouts.
Right, excellent.
Okay, the reason, just to explain that, is the reason that is because with the way the new system works, it uses the Windows printer drivers, use more modern printer drivers, and it's then that have to be modified slightly. So yeah, but that's that's getting improved.
Brilliant, thanks.
Okay. Anyone else? You all right? No, but as I said, any specific queries, mate, just get back to me. Anybody, just get back to me. Anything you may specifically go over individually, and I've got a catch up with Adam on Monday, Tuesday. As I said, I thought I'd be on today, but catch up on Monday, Tuesday, and I'll get even more details on that, and I'll fire it over to you as well as soon as I get it. All right. Cheers.